speaking of South Africans doing things in a big way, our next guest is going to blow your mind. I mean, this guy is doing it in an extreme way. His name is Robben Stramrood.
He is a swimmer, and he doesn't swim in a pool. Well, I think he trains in a pool, but he has pushed his body beyond what most of us would consider limits in some of the most inhospitable and remote places on Earth. Before we chat to him, let's meet the man behind the legend.
Calling himself the quintessential average Joe, South African extreme swimmer Robben Stramrood is anything but. Ryan and his like-minded extremist friends quietly travel the world in search of its most inhospitable, often treacherous, icy ocean waters. Following painful pioneering training techniques in which he sits in buckets of ice for extended periods, Ryan challenges himself by pushing personal limits, often setting new benchmarks for human endurance. Since the start of his swimming adventure, Ryan has successfully completed a number of extreme challenges across the world, including the English Channel and the first official ice mile swim in Antarctica in freezing cold water. But the top of that list has to be being the first South African male to solo swim from Russia to the USA in nothing but a Speedo cap and goggles. His adventures, world-first achievements, and the often death-defying circumstances Ryan finds himself in make a brilliant, unassuming story of human spirit and victory.
Oh, man.
Oh,
if
my
that
word.
does not inspire you to break the mold, I don't know what will. Ryan, a very good morning. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
I'm going to say or ask the question that is on the face of every single person in the studio. But why? But why? You've swum from Russia to the USA or vice versa. Why do you do these things?
Do you know what? It's about living and it's about challenging yourself. You slide into these crazy things and they get crazier and crazier because every time you do something that you think is probably impossible and you do it. You get your mind right, you do the training, and then it's what's next, what's next, what's next.
I'm thinking about, like, I challenge myself every day when I see Bruce and I train, right? That's
100%.
challenging enough. But do you ever think of what could go wrong in these circumstances? I mean, you're out in the ocean, there's untold dangers.
Yeah, there certainly are, and you have to think, you have to think about what's going to go wrong. That is the essential part of the planning. We swim, my team and I, we swim in freezing water. Antarctica, it was -1. You know, if you just jump into that for 5 minutes, something can go horribly wrong, or even 30 seconds it can go wrong. So we do a lot of preparation for the what can go wrong part.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, when you've got the goal there in front of you, staying motivated and rising to that challenge is one thing, but training to that, how do you motivate yourself to sit in a bucket of ice water? How do you get your head into that process? Take us through your training methods.
The training, first and foremost, you've got to do a lot of work in the pool. If you're going to try, for example, an ice mile, a mile swim in 0-degree water, you can't be fit to swim a mile. You've got to be fit to swim a hell of a lot further because the cold will suck the energy out of you and it destroys your muscles. So we first get ourselves very fit, get yourselves very focused, eat lots of food, can put up a nice lot of weight. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it. And then you've got to get into those ice buckets because that's the mental part. What we do is very mental.
Yeah.
The cold takes your mind, it twists it, it makes you negative, it installs doubt, it installs fear, it installs panic. And we sit in those ice baths because you actually experience that. You experience the blood rushing from your extremities, i.e. your legs and arms, not just fingers and toes, to protect those vital organs to keep you alive. Humans have not evolved well to handle cold, we've evolved extremely well to avoid it. So when you put yourself in it, your body and your mind does everything to get you out.
Wow.
And then to try and perform physically over a distance and extended period of time, all becomes a mental game, and that's what's fascinated me and my like-minded buddies.
And you're going to be doing something else, reaching another milestone right now for the 50th time, crossing over from Bloberg to Robben Island, right?
Correct, yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, I just love swimming from Robben Island to Bloberg or 3 Anchor Bay.
You make it sound
to be
like
out there.
It's anything.
Well, you know, I must never put it down. It's a difficult swim. It really is. It's never the same. However, it's become a great training ground for me. The water is cold. One swim is never the same as the next. And I'm reaching, as you say, a great milestone. Hopefully, with a couple of my top swimming buddies tomorrow to reach my 50th official crossing.
Suddenly I'm thinking about my 15 minutes that I was going to add to my training session today. It sounds a little bit paltry, but
it's a good start.
As you said, you're always looking to the next big thing, and I know you're a motivational speaker, and that's a big part of how you relay this incredible life that you lead. What's next for you? What is the next big challenge?
Oh, you know, there's every time I do a big challenge, I retire because it pushes you to limits. But in March, I'm going with the International Ice Swimming Association to compete in the first World Champs inside the Arctic Circle, a place called Murmansk, where we're going to undertake a kilometre. And then there are a couple of other plans brewing, but it's just too early to talk about them.
Wow, and I mean, for South Africans that are watching this right now and thinking, my word, I want to drive myself to the levels where I can achieve things like this guy can, what would you say to them? What's that driving force within you? I'm trying to just dismantle the magic, find out what it is.
Well, I love that question because my whole vibe is that I'm completely average, the average Joe. I'm nothing special. I don't have any amazing ability to handle the cold better than the next person. But I've got off the couch and I've tried. And I've taken those steps, and I've actually, I take the lessons from achieving stuff which is really hard to achieve, overcoming different boundaries. You take that and you place that in your everyday life, in your business, in your family, and everything else, and things start to fall in place. All those little impossibles that you think are impossible so you don't bother trying, give it a go. And you'll see, it'll change your life, and you'll learn so much.
I feel like shaking your hand. Just that. There's a bit of power in that. Just
put it there.
Yes, it is now within me. Yes, my goodness. All right, listen, after that chat, I think we just need to take a quick ad break, just absorb all of that power and the information, and we'll see you shortly. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Okay, thanks, guys.